Hello everyone, I'm Milo and welcome to my town. Welcome to this new video series I'm starting about Mario Kart Tour. This will be sort of a personal journal series where I'll be discussing my personal progression throughout the game, using my own personal strategy. As the title suggests, starting this year I have decided to build my approach and strategy to competing in the game by focusing mainly on Luigi as a character and Luigi themed items. I am hoping I can share how things are shaping up for me by following this specific approach. Since this is the first episode, I first would like to contextualize my situation and explain a bit of my play history so far within the game, and then tie in the specific strategy that I've been following this year. I was a day one player for Mario Kart Tour, all the way back in 2019 on the original New York tour. I was free to play, though I will admit the Gold Pass piqued my interest. Though at the time I didn't have a card that I could enter to get it, not even the free trial. Anyway, while I did enjoy the game, I had a bad strategy of pulling the pipes every time I got 45 rubies, and as such, I had very bad luck and couldn't get any high-end characters. I got a few Karts or Gliders. I mainly remember getting the B-Dasher and the Fair Flyer. Well, it was early game, so not many items had been released. I played for about 4 months until the first week of the New Year's tour. I finally managed to get Rosalina Halloween in there, which was my first high-end driver. Unfortunately, a lot of things were going on in my life at this time, so I ended up dropping the game. Not because I didn't like it, but rather because I forgot due to having many things in my mind. During 2020, I would eventually see news about the game and wanted to return to it, but I never ended up actually committing to doing so. Ironically, the pandemic was going on at the time, and I was working from home now. So I definitely had the extra time I could use to get into the game, but I just kept forgetting. I would log in from time to time, play for a little bit, and sometimes I got a couple of new items. Finally, for the original Cat Tour in January 2021, I decided to fully return to the game. I played for the first day of that tour, and this time I wanted to really get into it and hopefully catch up on the entire year that I had missed. So on the last day of this tour, I activated my Gold Pass trial, which I now was able to, and after that free period ended, I kept the Gold Pass up and running for an entire year. This of course heavily boosted me and helped me catch up. At this point, I was at about level 25 and tier 20, from the first 4 months of the game where I played. From here, I started to rank and level up in both, while getting the extra items and rubies from Gold Pass, to start building my inventory. Little by little, I started to be able to 5-star all the tracks on each tour, eventually getting enough total points to get the extra tickets that are provided, and I started getting some more powerful items, whenever I was able. I mainly just kept Gold Pass, though I did buy a single pack on Vacation Peach in June 2021. It was my birthday and I wanted her to complete my coin box collection characters, which I was building at the time. I don't really like having spent that much, but it was a one-time thing that I never did again. Pretty much the rest I just kept up the Gold Pass and nothing else. Inventory wise, my main strategy during this period was to get items to level 4, at which point I found it to be decent for scoring. What ended up happening is that I would end up with several level 4 items, often in a tie with each other for several tracks, which sort of trivialized the strategy. I had started to think about how to change this. Anyway, it would be hard to describe everything that happened during that year, especially since I didn't really bother documenting stuff. Since I had Gold Pass, my ruby stream was good. I would not always save up too many rubies, I would pull a lot. Thankfully, I was lucky enough to almost never get screwed, and I did manage to get some decent items during this time. Let's now fast forward to January of 2022. After the New Year's tour, which added Meowser, who I pulled for, it was announced that the second tour for the year would be the Singapore one, featuring a new Luigi alt, Vacation Luigi. He looked incredibly cool, and I've always been a fan of Luigi, though I cannot say I have been able to play with this fanatism within the game. Either way, I was decided to go for him, and I had a good stack of tickets, so I decided to do something I had never done beforehand. I was going to get his whole set and immediately take it to level 6. The thought of an Alcove ranking badge was a dream if I could get it for this Luigi, but realistically speaking, it was impossible for me. Still, I wanted to take the bet and invest into this Luigi set so it would hopefully carry me throughout the year. At this point, the status of my Luigi inventory was the following. I had Penguin Luigi at level 2, I believe both were from tier shop purchases. I had Lederhosen Luigi also at level 2, which I had managed to get twice during the 2nd anniversary special pipes. Finally, I had Painter Luigi, who I got on the 2nd anniversary pipe. I almost did not get him. I literally had to wait until the rank rubies for the 2nd week, just before the tour ended, to do one final temple. Luckily, he was there. The pipe had been pulled a lot and my luck had been bad, but I got him in the end. The following day, I made him level 4 because he was in rank on the following tour. He was still level 4 at this point for January. I did not own the other two Luigi Alts available at this point, which were Builder and Classic. I also did not really own any of his related Karts of Gliders. Singapore came and I unfortunately had to go all the way to the very bottom to get Vacation Luigi. He was the 94th item in the pipe. Thankfully, I had enough rubies saved up for this. At least I did get him. I leveled both him and the Boring Racer, his new card, to level 6. Unfortunately, there was no new glider. The pipe had the Silver Manta glider, which wasn't too bad, but I didn't feel compelled to upgrade it at the time. Due to these two items, I owned rank that week. Then came week 2, which had a pipe containing Builder Luigi, Classic and Painter, alongside some of the respective Karts and Gliders. I pulled on this pipe, though I was worried I would not be able to get what I wanted, because of how low I had to go into the first pipe. I already did not have enough for an empty. Thankfully, with a few pulls I was able to get both Builder and Classic Luigi, and I decided to leave it there. I was pretty low at that point, but getting the characters was what I wanted the most. Around this time, I took the decision to try and approach the game from now on with a focus on Luigi, so whenever they were needed, I'd be trying to level up the other items that I already had. Luigi Alts came very sparsely before, so I was just expecting a possible new one in no earlier than 4 or 5 months. But to my surprise, just 2 weeks after this tour ended, the new featured tour was the 3rd Los Angeles tour, featuring none other than Luigi's golfing outfit from the NES Open Tournament game. I was really surprised to see a new Luigi out so early, as it had never happened before. The good thing is that I had recovered from my Ruby drought from Singapore, so I was good to guarantee him. I ended up getting him and his new card, the Green Lighting. This pipe also lacked new gliders. It actually completely lacked gliders, which to this day is still very confusing to me. But anyways, I leveled up both components to 4. I was a bit worried to use all my tickets since I had just used 9 of each category just some weeks before. But at level 4 they served well. I did actually record my pulls for this, so I'll link it in the description if you want to see. These are uploaded to my other channel. During the next tour, the Sky Tour, I decided to stop delaying something I had hoped to do, and I leveled up my Painter Luigi from 4 to 6, as it had really strong value, so I wanted to maximize on it. Exactly a month after Golf Luigi debuted, the Me Tour was going on, and I was a bit conflicted because I wanted to pull on both weekly pipes. The Yellow Off-Roader was in the spotlight in the week 2 pipe, which was a paywall before this tour. This was my most wanted card to get, so I went in for it. I got it and then I went into the first pipe, as a new glider shaped after Luigi's mustache had been released. Long story short, I took a good amount of pulls, but I got it. I also got a copy of Builder Luigi, which leveled him to 2. Then I returned to pipe 2 and I pretty much completely ran out of rubies. Just 5 left. I felt pretty defeated, but on the bright side I did get the items I wanted. I leveled my Luigi mustache to 6 on the spot. The card too. There's a video of this as well, so I'll link it if you are curious. Anyway, at this point I still held Gold Pass, but several months prior I had already planned on this month to be my last, as in about January I had finally unlocked the ability to get high-end tickets on my daily selects, and I felt like my inventory was in a good enough spot to continue without Gold Pass, so I would save a bit of money by not having this monthly expense anymore. Now, unfortunately, most of this planning was ruined, as when they added level 8, not only did they change the algorithm, but also the increased meant that I had to do more investment, assuming they kept it the same. At the very least, the new system gives you around 1 ticket in your shop per tour, so I kept going with that. My Gold Pass expired on the first day of the following tour, which was the Samurai Tour, so I got all the rewards on the first day, and from there onwards I have been free to play. Of course, my account was already in a strong place, so I was able to continue without paying at this point. Getting back on track, 2 weeks later at the Yoshi Tour, I ended up leveling Golf Luigi up to 6, as I kind of needed the extra scoring power to win ranked, but it was part of my decided strategy, so I was fine with the choice. Finally, we're coming to recent times. Just a few weeks back from the making of this video, the featured tour was the Doctor Tour, which added both Dr. Mario and Dr. Luigi. For this tour, we finally got a complete new set of Luigi items, a driver, cart and glider. I pulled for them and took all of them to level 6. Additionally, I leveled the green lighting from 4 to 6, as it also was featured in rank. I honestly did not really need it, but I did it anyways since his set pair was already at 6 and I had been pending to do so. I got lucky on the polls, and thanks to so many gifts that have been given this year, I had more than enough rubies for an MT anyways. At last, we arrive at the current day. The second Cat Tour is going on, which added both Cat Mario and Luigi. Ever since the first Cat characters got added, it was clear that they would come, and here they are. Luigi released with a complete set as well. I once again have more than enough rubies for an empty. For 2 empties in fact. As I am making this, the pipe is not available yet, but I am planning to pull for all of the set and take it to level 6. This will actually put me at 0 card tickets remaining. I have been using quite a bit of them so far, so from now on I'll need to save on this again. Additionally, right now for week 1, I was winning ranked as I pulled a triple frenzy run with my level 2 Bearded Luigi in Mushroom Gorge, but overnight someone else pulled through with additional 3000 points. Now here I could go all in and take Bearded Luigi to level 6. The downside to doing that is that it would also put me at 0 remaining driver tickets. I'm still deciding whether or not to do it. Despite aligning with my strategy, he does hold some older coverage and a less total track value, so it might be a bit better to save up just a bit more for the future. I will wait a couple of days to see if the person ahead of me gets a higher score or not, to see if it's worth for me to go to the first place. Anyway, that is pretty much my story and situation so far. As it stands, the main strategy I am following can be narrowed down like this. I am focusing on Luigi as a character and his related items, and trying to capitalize on them and upgrade them, making them my cornerstones of my account. There are only a handful of other items that I have leveled to a high point before this, and those remain with a good value. However, from this point I am trying to prioritize the Luigi strategy above all else. I am currently looking forward mainly for 2 things. Number 1 would be the Luigi Parafoil, a glider that was added in the Singapore tour as a pack. I am waiting for a day where it's put in a pipe I can pull, hopefully as a spotlight, as a non-spotlight special pipe could simply not give it to me even after multiple pulls. The second thing I'm looking forward to, I guess, is the release of any upcoming Luigi alts and sets, as well as potentially upgrading the other ones that are a bit older up to speed. I know the game is now at level 8 as its top, but it is incredibly expensive to upgrade your items up to that. A single item from level 7 to 8 takes almost the same amount of tickets as an item from level 1 to level 6. Level 6 is a very comfortable position, you get 10% frenzy chance, a very good bonus point multiplier, the plus item, and just being at that point can net you a very good score contribution on a track. So I have decided to have 6 as my top. I'm also double uncapping the items that I take to 6. If any specific item ends up being really strong, I might consider triple uncapping it. But since this takes way too many tickets, I'd only do it for a very few occasions. So far I haven't felt the need to do it for any of them. This is the strategy that I am going for, in a nutshell. Now, of course, it also has its downsides. It seems the developers like to pair similar items with each other on tracks, but this goes both ways. So they pair Luigi drivers with Karts and Gliders on some of the tracks, but they also end up giving some of the items in the same categories in the same tracks. So I've often found 2 or 3 Luigi alts that I have at level 6 on the same track. In these cases I end up just using the most useful item, which is usually Lucky 7 or Boomerang. This goes as well for the cards, and since I don't have too many Luigi gliders yet, I cannot really say for certain, but it is bound to happen probably. Of course, at this point for my account, what I want to do the most is to get as much level 6 coverage in the tracks as I can. I am actually very close to 100% total coverage within the game, with the items that I own. Cities are the most ones that evade me, and a couple of the most recent number versions of the newer tracks, which usually have the hardest coverage to get. Even if I'm close to 100% coverage, there are plenty of slots where only a level 1 item is what fills it, so the scoring in set tracks will not be optimal. I had considered leveling up some items I currently own to see if I can improve my overall level 6 coverage, but since these Luigis have been so frequent this year, at this point I think I'm better off saving my tickets for whenever a new one comes out. And at this rate I'm probably just praying that they take a little while to release a new one, so I can have some more time to save up again with the limited resources that I have. At the very least, I can say that the bet on the Luigis has been a good one. They have been used a lot in ranked, and they have greatly benefited me thus far. That is the good thing about investing in newer items. Especially this year so far, which has seen so many new tracks, the recent items I have pulled have managed to get these new tracks, and help out in both rank cups and overall getting a good start throughout the tours. On the Singapore tour, after investing into the level 6 items, I was able to get 800,000 points for the first time during a tour. On some of the following tours, I could do the same at times, but not always. During the Samurai tour, note that some of the items had received more buffs, I managed to get 800,000 points again, and starting the Yoshi tour of 2022, I was able to reach all the way to 900,000 points. And so far, I have been able to maintain this trend of reaching this threshold, which gets me the final row of the total points card and gets me extra rewards. Given that I've managed to keep growing even after opting out of Gold Pass feels extremely rewarding to me. And since the value just keeps on building on top of these already strong items from my account, I feel like at the very least I'll be able to keep up this pace. I don't really think I'll be able to ever get an All Cup ranking badge, especially since now the top scores are even higher, but I am very satisfied if I can keep up the current pace that I am getting. Well, I think I've talked for a while, so I will wrap up this first episode here. I will try to have a deeper look into all of what this strategy of playing the game is like, so for future videos I will try to look more into coverage topics that are a bit more technical, but I hope you enjoyed this appetizer. I'll try to maybe make a video on this every couple of weeks. I guess whenever a new Luigi out releases would be a proper time to cover it in the series as well, so make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss it. If you like other gaming topics, you can check out my other videos I have on the channel. I'm just starting out and I am aiming to cover many of the games that I enjoy. I hope you take a look at them, but for now I think that is all. Don't forget, you'll always be welcome in my town. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.